And
Every day.
yeah, every day, all day. And I'm sure that you guys are aware that there's 3 men in this room, right? There's like 3 of us. Bruh, 4. Oh, there's 4 of us. 5. Hey, let's go. Numbers are increasing. But so one of the hardest things to do as a man is to talk to women out in public. It's very difficult, especially about health and wellness things. Women don't want to share that with men. But I use her. This is my walking billboard. Anytime that I want to talk to someone who's of the opposite sex. Another dude, I will find anything to connect me to him. It could be sneakers, a haircut, beards work all day. I don't care. Most men want to be a part of the beard gang. Beards work all day. But for her, I mean, I usually do bags. Louis Vuitton's work all the time. She usually has that on. Gucci. But the other day, it was we were in Target, and she sent me to get a cart because, of course, she went straight to clothes. And if you guys don't know, her bill in Target's $400. Just want to throw that out there. Every time. So the fact that we walked in there and she didn't get a cart, I was like, "You showing off? Like, what do you mean?" So she sent me for a cart, and there's this lady who had a Starbucks cup that I walked past. What does Starbucks mean? Coffee.
Yes.
What do we have?
Coffee.
So when I came back, I just wrote a little mental note that I need to talk to her, but I didn't know how. But the section that she was in was the clearance section, and that's normally where we find our little knickknacks. So I was like, she sent me for a card, and we didn't actually come to the section, and we always start here. Like, she is showing off, and she busts out laughing. And then she was like, well, I always start here. And I was like, wait, you have Starbucks. What's the big deal about Starbucks? You have to have like a degree to order there. And she laughed again, and she's like, well, I used to work at Starbucks when I was in high school. And I was like, when was that, like 5 years ago? No, she was like 35.
Compliment. Let's stop getting a
compliment.
Compliment. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So she was like, no, that was a long time ago. I'm a lot older than you think I am. I was like, you know what? I know somebody who's just like you. She's really, really old, but she looks young.
Oh, wow.
So she was like, really? I was like, yeah, come here. I want to show you her. So I walked down.
This is a true story. This is really true.
So I made this lady walk with me. Her name's Kayla. I made Kayla walk with me to come see her in the clothes aisle. And I was like, Auntie, come here real quick. She comes out, and I was like, see,
Now,
told you.
I'm fully aware that this is what we're doing. I'm on go.
I was like, oh, look. I was like, doesn't she look really, really young? And she was like, yeah, she does. I was like, she's really old, though. So the very next thing that I do is called the pass off. I piqued her interest, and then I passed her off to my aunt. They have way more in common than I would ever have. And
That's
then
who got her phone number.
you
I
want to know
always gave it back to him.
Yeah, you want to know the easiest way to get somebody's phone number in public? Take a picture with them.
And then we texted to them.
Just text it over. Hey, let me just text this over to you. Oh, yeah, here's my number. Everybody wants their pictures to go on their little Instagram.
But
So
here's the other part to this, blitzing. It is more important for you to know everything about the person that you're blitzing or talking to, because we don't really go to blitz. I go to Target because I like going to Target. But while I'm at Target, I'm going blitz. That's the difference. And
I'm bored.
but I knew everything about Kayla, right? He's just bored. So I knew everything about Kayla. I knew that she was a school teacher. I knew that, so what are you doing during the summer? Oh my gosh, she's a special ed teacher. I knew all, but she knew nothing about me. But I said, but you do like coffee. And you know what? I said, because you're a school teacher, I was like, God bless you. Because I know a lot of educators, and it's not an easy job. I said, let me give you a gift. So then I sent Joe to get some keto coffee out the car. And while he was away is when I got all of her information. Like I started asking her a lot of questions because the goal is to know more about the person that you're talking to that they know about you, right? And then she came back, we took our selfie. I was like, now I can shoot you the picture. And now she wants to know all about keto coffee. So it's really just about, it's building relationships. And I think we don't understand it. Like I said, we get so robotic that we think we've got to talk about ourselves or the company or the whatever. You just got to find something to get you in the door.
Babies work well.
Babies work very well. Newborn moms, right? Newborns with their moms, then they're probably, I ask, are you nursing? Because I know I want to, if it's newborn and they've got some belly issues, right? Some tissue issue, they want to get that bounce back. And I'll talk about how, oh my God, I think I'm just bouncing back now after my 5-year-old. And I'll say, oh, it must be the collagen. And they're like, what? What is that? I want that. I'm like, it's like my fountain of youth juice. I think it's got me going backwards. And I'll say things like that, but it's like I'm dropping a nugget, but I'm not really telling them anything. Right. And so I'm in a bunch of 40 and over groups because I'm, past my anniversary of my 20th birthday. And so in those 40 and over groups, here's another tip, because you can blitz, so you can't advertise in groups, but you can kind of blitz in groups by thank you for adding me to this group. With my picture, I'm a 47-year-old mom of 4 kids, blah, 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 blah. Then everybody comes and says, wait a minute, you're what? 47? And I'll say, I guess it's this fountain of youth drink I'm drinking. And they're all like, what is it? I want it. What is it? And I'm like, oh, girl, you got to inbox me for that information. I don't want to get shut out the group.
Bam. Okay. Y'all, they are so good. I love it. Okay.
So those little beautiful coupon cards that you guys have that are so miraculous, just handing them out or putting them on people's cards is not blitzing. It's actually the most annoying thing that you can do. Mm-hmm. Think about it. When you walk to your car after shopping and you see one, what do you do with it?
Pick it up and put it in a trash.
Let it be raining.
Normally I just, kind of chuck it, So what you want to do with that is once you've already engaged in the conversation, then you can give someone that. Yeah, that is blitzing. But I mean,
there's a reverse to that though. You can put them on your own car when people walk by. They want to see what it is, and they take them off.
Yeah, that's interesting. I wouldn't do that, but
they take them. They take them.
There is one more thing that I do occasionally. If I'm on a road trip, I take a little sticky note pad. This is a real good one. I promise you I do this. And on the sticky note pad, I hand write, work from home, make $500 a month with my phone number. And I stick them on the insides of every bathroom door that I go through. You have no idea how many people call me. Like, I just got this little sticky note. I know it seems like the most, I promise you, people call me with that. So rest stops, even when we make it a point to stop at rest stops, and I get a little post-it pad, and I literally just put work from home, earn $500 a month, and my phone number. Boom.
Oh my God, this is so good. Okay, I don't know if I can follow that. Okay, so good. Okay, so I actually do love blitzing because I love getting in front of people. I'm a people person. My personality comes out when you're in front of me. So a lot of things, I love to shop. Like I love Kohl's, Ulta. I got some credit cards, but like basically I'm trying to move out, so I gotta have a good credit score. So I gotta go pay those credit cards off. So what I've been doing is when I go to pay them, I go into the store, and usually they tell me I can't even pay it in the store, so I figure out how to pay it through the clerk. But story of it, when I'm sitting there, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so happy I'm able to pay off this credit card. I'm here like every day. It's so impossible not to spend like $500 here. And then I always ask, like, do you get a discount here and this and that? Just start conversation, getting to know them. And they're like, meanwhile, obviously they're telling me about them, and I strike that conversation or that little note, and they're like, well, what do you do that you're here all the time? Or they see how much I'm paying off, and they're like, what do you do? I had one girl at Kohl's, I went to pay it off. She's like, well, what do you do? I was like, girl, I lost so much weight and I just told people about it, and literally it changed my life. I have a little girl, and this is a picture of her. I was like, oh, and here's my results. And she's like, holy crap, that's crazy. She's like, what do you, like, let me get your number, let me do this. Literally the next day she signed up with me. The next day. She was like, I want to do this. I don't know what I'm doing, but I want to sign up. Sign me up. And got her info and put her in. I just got excited. I got excited about, and I made it intentional to go somewhere. I can pay that online. I got an app. It's really easy. But I like to go and make that eye contact with somebody. I'm supposed to be somewhere at the right time, in the right moment. The right clerk is gonna help me pay that credit card. It's because they need this, and she needed this. So that was one. I've done in the bathrooms. This week, my insurance lady, I went to go get a car insurance quote. Apparently they're called car notes. I don't know, we don't say that in PA, I guess.
That's a down south term.
Okay, so we say car insurance, but I'm trying to be adult here, so I had to get on my own plan. So I went in and I talked to them. I was like, okay, this is what I do. I was like, well, I want this and this because I travel a lot. And I want to make sure, like, if I get hit, like, I need a rental right away, and this and that. And she's like, you travel? And she's like, where do you go? I was like, well, I'm going to Michigan next week, and I was just in Baltimore the other day, and just like telling her my story, and I mean bits and pieces, but like things of like what I do, where I go. I'm like, I go to Florida every year, almost sometimes twice, 3 times a year, and with my friends, and they're like, oh, she's like, okay, so what do you do? Like, and then I was like, no, she didn't ask that yet. Then we came to how much I make. And I was like, well, I make probably about like 30. Last year I made 35. This year I'm not gonna come under 50. And she's like, well, what do you do? Like the math started going up. She's like, what do you do? And I was like, oh, I work from my phone. And I was like, I'm home with my daughter. There's literally pictures all over her desk of her little girl. And I'm like, I'm at home with my little girl, and it's literally the best thing ever. And she's like, I want to do that. How do I do it? The next day we met at the park, literally right next door, signed her up. It's literally so easy of just, you're sharing your life, you're sharing what you do, you're sharing your passion, and you're making sure you're known of your surroundings. I noticed she had a little girl. I noticed she's not very happy at her job right now. Like, you can tell it, you can tell the vibe that they put off. And, I just got excited about what I had, and I knew the question would come if I kept talking. Yes. Yep. I blitz all the time in my nail salon. Remember the one time I went? We were gonna go, and I was like, nah, I'm gonna go to my girl. And I went, blitzed somebody. I was like, there's a reason why I didn't go with you today. So yeah. Perfect. Awesome. Yes. Okay. So next, you do.